Beauty immediately turned into a snake and said, "Since you decided to leave your wife and children at home just so you can sleep with me, I will teach you a very big lesson you will never forget." Francis was speechless as he was already shaking in fear. He tried to open the door, but it was locked. Mr. Francis was happily married with a wife and two lovely children. A lot of people knew Mr. Francis as a God-fearing and loyal husband, but Mr. Francis was far different from that. He was a cheater. He went out every day pretending to go to work, but instead he chased everything wearing skirts. Mr. Francis pretended to be a good husband and father. Every day he would smile as he walked out of his house, waving goodbye to his wife and children. But as he went out, he would go to the club, spraying money for ladies. He would order a lot of things, buying champagne, suya, catfish and many more. The ladies would surround him and praise him as he spent huge amounts of money every day. But when he got back home, he pretended like the loyal husband and the best father in the world. But his acting didn't last long. He decided that he wasn't going to hide it anymore. And soon after, he started changing his behavior towards his wife Elora. He stopped explaining wherever he went to. He stopped giving her money to cook. He abandoned his children's need and started eating his wife. Elora was so sad. She didn't know what happened to her husband. She thought he would change, but it became worse. He started leaving the house for days, and when he came back, if Elora asked him where he went to, he would beat her and walk out again. He stopped giving his family attention completely and stopped caring for his young children. Francis did it to the point where he started bringing different ladies into his house, and Elora dared not to talk, cause if she did, he will beat her. Francis walked around the streets flexing with big ladies. He spent money on them, bought them new phones, shoes, clothes and bag, and he thought he was enjoying life. Sometimes Francis would lie to ladies that he was single and searching, while his wife was at home acting the role of a father and mother for their children. Elora told some of Francis' family members, and when they talked to him about that, Francis would go home and beat Elora, warning her, "If you ever call any of my family members again, or if you ever talk about me to any of your stupid family members, I will make sure I deal with you and you will leave my house." One day, Elora told Francis, "Please, I need to pay our children's school fees. The school agency said we must pay their school fees or they won't be allowed in the school tomorrow." But Francis frowned, saying, "How is that my business? I don't know your children too. See, I don't have any money with me, old lady. Can't you learn how to take care of some house responsibilities? Every time you are always asking for money, you lazy idiot." With that, he walked out of the house, leaving Elora in tears. Elora was shattered, thinking if this was the loving and caring husband she married. One day, Francis went to the club. Inside the club, he saw a beautiful young lady named Beauty, drinking juice and smiling. He walked up to her and they talked for a while. Then Beauty said, "Do you have a wife?" That's what made Francis' heart beat faster as he stammered, "Of course, I don't have a wife. I'm single and searching." Beauty smiled and asked again, "I said, do you have a wife?" This time, Francis' heart beat faster. "No, I don't have a wife. I just said I am single and searching." Beauty looked at him one more time with an expression he couldn't explain and said, "Do you have a wife?" That question started to make Francis feel uncomfortable as he said, "Well, I didn't want to say this before, but my wife had kicked the bucket few years ago, and that happened during child's labor." He cried dramatically, trying to make his lies look real. Beauty looked at him and said, "I'm so sorry for that." Immediately, Francis changed the topic and started asking for a number. Beauty gave him a number and they planned to meet at an hotel the next day. Francis was so happy as he went home. When Francis got home, he told Elora, "You must leave my house today with those your children. Oh, I don't want to see any of you near me or my surroundings again. I'm not even sure those children are mine." Elora cried and said, "Francis, why are you doing this to us? And what do you mean these children aren't yours?" Francis looked angry as he shouted, "One more word from you and you will regret the day you married me. Is it by force? I said I'm not more doing again." Elora remained quiet as she went to her room and started packing her loads and her children's load. She cried bitterly as she regretted the day she met Francis. The next morning, Francis dressed up early. He wore his best clothes and sprayed his most expensive perfume. Then he went out with an intention of going to meet Beauty in an hotel. After he left, Elora packed her loads and her children's load. She was pained as she planned of what to do to ruin Francis. She didn't have any money on her to take care of her children. She went with all Francis' money. She took his ATM cards. She took all his money. She took all the valuable and expensive things Francis had. Then she went with Francis' car. Francis got to the hotel, and as he was enjoying his conversation with Beauty, he tried to get close to her. Immediately, Beauty turned into a snake and she said, "Since you decided to leave your wife and children at home just so you can sleep with me, I will teach you a very big lesson you will never forget." Francis was speechless as he was already shaking in fear. He tried to open the door, but it was locked. He begged for forgiveness, but it was too late. Beauty started beating Francis with a very big cane, wiping him very hard. After that, she told him to transfer half of the money he had in all his accounts to his wife and the remaining half to her. Francis did the transfer, still shaking. When he was done with the transfer, Beauty disappeared. Francis was in shock as he shouted. Immediately, the door opened. He ran out very fast, breathing heavily. When the hotel managers asked what happened, Francis told them that the girl he walked in with scammed him and she had disappeared. The hotel manager looked at herself with concern. They said, "Sir, but you came here alone." Francis was speechless and shocked. He didn't know what to do. He took his phone and ran home. When he got home, he met complete silence as his house was echoing. No cries of children or sounds of television, no aroma of foods, just silence. When he checked around, he couldn't find any of his cash inside. All his expensive items, including his jewelry and ATM, everything was gone. He sat on the floor as he cried in pains. The end. Thank you so much for watching. I know you enjoyed this story. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe to this channel for more captivating and fantastic stories. Bye, and I'll see you in my next story.